Indiana is expected to add a lot of solar power in the next 5 years. Most of that will be on the ground, something some rural Hoosiers don't like. As Rebecca Thiel reports, there could be another option: put solar on hundreds of millions of square feet of unused space on top of big box stores.
Here at Sweetwater Sound's distribution center in Fort Wayne, employees test out guitars before boxing them back up to sell. There's a lot of activity. Boxes zoom from place to place on overhead conveyor belts, while forklift drivers make their way through traffic on the floor. But it's nothing compared to the energy on the roof. There, more than 260 solar panels help power the building. Tyler Gerardo maintains them for the company.
We do try to use what we can here, and then what is left over and not used by Sweetwater, we send back out to the grid, and that helps kind of reduce the price for everybody that gets a chance to use it.
Companies are starting to put solar on warehouses like this one and big box stores like IKEA, but very, very slowly.
And given that in America we're running short on nature and we need to move to renewable energy as quickly as possible, the roofs of superstores and warehouses really are perfect for solar because they're flat, they're sunny, and right now all they're doing is keeping the rain out.
Newman says if all the warehouses and big box stores in Indiana put solar on the roof, it could power more than 20% of all the homes in the state. There are also advantages to generating energy close to where it's used. Newman says 9 out of 10 Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart. If they all had solar and battery storage, she said Walmarts could become resilient community hubs.
In the event of a tornado or in the event of a hurricane, Walmart still has power and it still has light and it has refrigeration and could become the place where people go to charge their phones and where they can go to get cool water.
So why aren't more businesses doing this? Newman says there are a number of reasons. She says solar would undoubtedly save a big energy-hogging store like a Target money in the long run, but there's still an upfront cost.
So anything that doesn't pay back within 2 to 3 years, they can struggle to justify to their shareholders.
Solar on a warehouse, on the other hand, would probably generate more energy than what the warehouse itself can use. Unless it can sell that energy to someone, like a utility or a community solar project, Newman says it might not make financial sense. That's where Indiana lawmakers can make the difference.
So if there are state incentives that are put in place to help encourage solar on the built environment, like superstore roofs and warehouse roofs, you can change the business calculation of the solar developers.
Things like higher rates for net metering. Those are the credits folks with solar panels get on their electric bills for sending excess energy back to the grid. Indiana's large investor-owned utilities lobbied to pass a law 8 years ago to phase down higher net metering rates. Reinstating them would help big box stores and warehouses pay off their solar panels faster. It certainly worked for Sweetwater, which got a better net metering rate from its rural electric cooperative. Altogether, the company says having solar saves it more than $160,000 a year. But Jeff Osterman, Sweetwater's chief people and culture officer, says that's not what drove Sweetwater to do it. He says the company has always tried to be an environmental steward. It's something customers want to see.
We were excited to be able to do it, and I think what we found out in the process is it was actually way more accessible for us than maybe what we had even initially realized. And I think others who would be looking at it, other organizations, may very well find the same thing.
To avoid the worst effects of climate change, scientists say we need to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. That means transitioning toward cleaner sources of energy like solar fast. Solar developers say a patchwork of local laws in Indiana make putting large solar farms on the ground difficult. Indiana's warehouses and big box stores may be a creative way to get some of that solar back on the roof. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Rebecca Thiel.